How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing well today. Now, some of you may remember when last year I did a video documenting a day in my life, but there was one crucial difference. See, back then the UK wasn't in lockdown anymore, and, well, it is at this time. So because of this one small factor, quite a lot has actually changed throughout my daily life. So I thought, seeing as you guys enjoyed the last one, we'd do an updated 2021 Techie Day in the Life. Anyway, let's cut to the morning. So the first thing I do in the morning, like everyone else, is wake up. I've actually tried several different apps in order to help make this as painless as possible. I've tried the stock Apple app, I've tried several third-party apps, but the one I've settled on is called Sleep Cycle. I like this one because not only does it function as an alarm, but it also has some really cool sleep tracking tools that you don't need any external hardware for, and I think that's pretty cool. I actually want to start this out by talking about my phone in a little bit more detail. Now, some of you may have seen my phone setup videos before, but recently I've decided to remove all those distracting apps away from my home screen to my app library. And this means that first thing in the morning, I don't find myself getting distracted by my phone. I'm not endlessly scrolling through social media, and this just helps me get my day started easier and quicker. Like a lot of people, after this, I head to the shower where I'm again using my phone. From here, I usually put on some music, set a timer, as I do often find myself losing track of time. Then, once that's done, it's time for breakfast. Here, the first thing I'll usually do is make myself a cup of coffee. Depending on the day, I will use a variety of tech. If I'm lazy, I'll be using my Nespresso machine, but if I want to put in that little bit of extra effort, then I will make a pour over. And here I use a digital scale as well as my phone to time my brews. Once breakfast is done, it's time to head out to the studio. Now, as some of you may know, I have just built this, and I decided to build this so it could be used with smart technology, which is a first for me. As some of you may know, I've never really been one for smart technology, but I decided to change that here. So all my lights as well as my heater and my computer are on a smart switch, so I can turn it on, wait 10 minutes for my studio to heat up and my computer to fully boot up, and I'm ready to go. I find this is a really good way of getting me motivated to dive into work, as I don't have to faff around turning everything on. So despite my initial hesitation, I have very much enjoyed this system. Depending on what task I need to get done during the day, I'll either be using my editing setup, my filming setup, or my recording setup. My editing setup is pretty self-explanatory. I use an iMac, a custom Magic 468 mechanical keyboard, a Logitech MX Master mouse, and a pair of PreSonus Eris 3.5 studio monitors. In terms of my camera setup, I have simplified things recently. I now mostly just use my Canon EOS R and my Sigma 18-35 lens. I find this is a fantastic combo. It helps me to get the image I want, and overall, it's a nice, simple system. As some of you may know, I did used to rig this thing up with an Atomos Ninja and some nice fancy vintage lenses, but recently I have been finding that to slightly kill my creativity a bit, so I've settled on this. Finally, in terms of my recording setup, we have an Audio Technica AT4033A microphone. I do plan to switch this out for another Neumann mic fairly soon, but I do really like this mic, and I might even keep it around. We also have a Shure SM7B, which I absolutely hate despite its popularity. I find it sounds terrible on my voice, and since I treated my studio, I don't have to use it anymore, so that will probably end up on eBay. In order to send this signal to my computer, I use an Audion ID4 Mark II interface, which I just picked up and I love. It's got amazing sounding preamps, awesome monitoring tools, and it's easy enough to switch from my headphones to my studio monitors. Yeah, big fan of this interface, and it even meant that I could give my old one to my friend so he could get into XLR mics. As I said though, depending on which task I need to get done, I'll sort of move around this office space. Today was an editing day, so I was mostly using my computer setup, but I did end up using my camera setup later on in the day, as you'll see. But for the most part, in the morning, I was simply editing. After this, time for a spot of lunch. Here, I like to use my iPad to look up recipes, as well as, again, listen to music and use it as a nice big screen timer. And while I certainly don't think everybody needs an iPad anymore necessarily, I really do like mine. After I've eaten, it's time to take my dog for a walk. Here, I use my phone again to track my steps, as well as my Beats Studio 3 headphones. I've actually briefly talked in the past about how much I like these headphones. I wore these in Birmingham New Street train station a little while back, and it blocked out pretty much all of the sound, and I've been a fan ever since. I really love listening to music while I walk. I can't really explain it, to be totally honest, but I found that ever since I started doing it a few weeks ago, my walks have got longer, which is good for me, it's good for my dog, and it's just a really nice break. As you can see, I did end up taking my camera out with me. I wanted to grab a few quick photos as well as some video clips. Not for anything specific though, I just enjoy it. Nevertheless though, all good things must come to an end, and I needed to get back to work, so I headed back to my studio and started on finishing a project. Now, I have described my workflow before. I like to get most of the hard work done in the morning, as I do find I am a little bit more focused there. So I find I like to leave myself either color grading or sound mixing for the afternoon, as I find these tasks to be quite relaxing. Usually at around 5 or 6 p.m, I do try to make a conscious effort to stop working, and this was the case for today, but often I will overrun late into the evening, which isn't good, and I've been trying to fix that, but today I succeeded. After this, I usually take a short break to catch up with my friends. Now, this may be either video calling, instant messaging, or gaming. Today, I kind of wanted to eat early and didn't want to get distracted, so it was just instant messaging for today. And if the previous line didn't give it away, next up, we're cooking again. Cooking is pretty much the same every single time, although there will be variants of what I cook, obviously. And after this, time to relax. A few months ago, I did get back into gaming thanks to COVID, so I did build myself another PC. This way, I could still see my friends despite the fact that I couldn't meet them in person, and it's been a lot of fun. After this is what I call my wind down period, so I don't touch any tech, I make myself a cup of tea, and more often than not, I find myself reading. Despite the fact that it's not tech, I actually do think this segment is very important, because while tech is fantastic, obviously, I do think it's important to act in moderation. So I try to keep my phone screen time down, and I usually don't touch any tech towards the end of the day. In this period, I might also spend an hour or so playing my guitar, but after that, that's pretty much it. As I said, some things have been consistent here. I have been consistent with my wind down period, but from the way I set up my phone to the way I organize my studio and have enabled this with smart technology, totally different. So whether this is my case for infinite digital minimalism or simply the lockdown life, I've developed an entirely new system to essentially assist me in this new way of living. And while of course I do certainly miss certain things, I don't know, I'm kind of enjoying this new way of life. I mean, especially with this new system, I'm more productive, more creative, and I'm just having a good old time with that techie life. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know, by the way, has your daily routine changed recently? Or do you have a new video idea you'd like to see? Feel free to drop me a comment. I always enjoy reading those. As for now though, as always, thank you for watching. Remember to like the video. If you want to see more content like this, then smash that subscribe button. I'm done for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.